Hey guys, welcome to another episode of our weekly MMA talk show called Chokes and Eye Pokes. Before we go any further, please look for our Spotify link in the description. Please like the video, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please look out for our other socials, also link in the description. And we hope you enjoy the show. I'm your host as always, Vern. I'm joined by my co-host, Jack. Interesting week, Jack?
Yo, best card of the year. Oh my
Definitely.
God. Yeah. What did you think? I mean, like, what did you feel?
Especially, it messed up my sleep cycle. So, I was up for Cameron's fight. I just stayed up.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, it's like almost 2 o'clock. The main card starts at 4. Should I just stay awake? Should I go sleep? I was like, nah, let me go get some sleep. And then it was one of those where I was like, sleeping, awake.
Yeah.
So, dude, it got me up to watch the card, and I was not disappointed, dude. That is for sure the best card of the year so far.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Actually, one of the best of all time, to be honest.
You think?
It was really good. Really, really good.
Okay. Well, yeah, I do agree. I mean, it just like as a South African fan, like, oh my God, that happened.
Yeah.
I'm still processing it in so many ways.
I know.
Yeah.
I still texted Mike afterwards, and I was like, "Hey, bro, we got these right and those things right." And then I was like, holy shit, dude, Dricus just stopped Robert Whittaker in round 2.
Yeah.
Like, the gravity of the whole thing hit me like that next morning.
Yeah.
And I think as well now, looking at all social media and stuff, and my posts, I posted something a couple months back after the BK episode where BK was talking about the whole, African fighter comments.
Yeah.
And it did quite well. And then all of a sudden, like after anything Dricus and Cameron related, just like the whole country was talking about it.
Yeah.
And I saw that on my stuff as well. Like it was just my phone was even going off. I can only imagine what like Cameron and Dricus's phone was doing.
Yeah.
And people posting about it that I did not know were MMA fans. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
But all around a good weekend for South African sports. I actually watched rugby for the first time since probably like the World Cup.
Yeah, poor Oceana, like whooped them in rugby, and also like Cameron and Dricus.
Yeah.
Shame.
Proper whipping. Yeah. Let's get into the card, man. Speaking of Cameron, so we did obviously our predictions as we do every single week. And we included obviously the prelim card now because Cameron was on that part of the card. And dude.
Yo. So impressive.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Like I knew it was good, but that's almost the easiest, most dominant display of his whole career, including EFC.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah, that was shockingly easy.
Yeah.
He actually almost looked like he was pissed off about having to be there and having to like fight the guy. I don't know, like he had a point to prove.
Yeah.
Mike was saying in the pre-thing, like Cameron always fights like he has a point to prove, but like this was different, dude. I mean, he dispatched Terrence Mitchell, and it was not even a struggle.
Yeah, and like the big thing with Terrence Mitchell as well. I mean, like the range was an issue, but like the grappling was also a thing that he's known for. And to take him down and like grapple with him like that, and just like get the better of him was just so impressive. I think
make him quit, dude.
Yeah, and he after he was calling for Cody.
Dude, I know he was calling. So he was calling for Cody ahead of time.
Yeah,
like. He's not doing it out of arrogance, and like he said that himself, it's just out of admiration and respect for Cody Garbrandt, and he's a big fan. And I think it's smart from him because Cody's a massive name, a former champion as well, but he's also on his way out. So like the chance to fight one of these big historical names that's left in the division, besides like the guys at the top, those chances are going to run out soon. And like what that would do for Cameron to get that fight, and especially if he wins that fight, which I think he could do.
I think he can do, yeah.
He could do. Listen, Cody Garbrandt is going to be a whole other animal if he gets that fight. But that chin, bro, if Cameron hits you clean and so precise like he always does, I mean, it's Cody will go out. He will go out.
Yeah.
But still a dangerous fight for him, though.
Yeah, and also just the grappling. I think that, like, if Cameron takes him down, like, it's not going to go too well for Cody.
I mean, Cody's good. Cody's good in his grappling still. I mean, like where Cody's been, I think what his downfall was is he tried to be very exciting, which to his credit he was.
Yeah.
Especially after the Dominic Cruz fights. But then I think with those 2 TJ fights just changed him, dude. I mean, he just got clipped.
Yeah. His
And
his defense is like, it does lack a little bit because he's in the pocket all the time.
it's always been bad, I think. I mean, I'm saying at the elite level, you know. Obviously, that's the style that got him there. But I don't know, his head movement just kind of deserted him, and maybe he was too emotional against TJ Dillashaw. And TJ Dillashaw owns like a whole different beast in any event.
Yeah.
But hey, man, Cameron, dude, that performance, bro. Like, honestly, I think he got he might have got a bonus for that. I hope he did. He definitely would have deserved that. But wow, I thought he was going to have some issues maybe in round 1 with the range, but he didn't even give a shit. Like,
I think he must have come in injured as well.
He said so.
Yeah, and like to do that injured is also just like what? Like what was it like?
Yeah, apparently, so Moreno just posted now that he and Dricus were both injured in their camps. Dricus said nothing, but I was looking like at Dricus's hand after the fight, like when he was like kind of holding his hand. I know he does that all the time, but when I looked at his right and left hand, and maybe I'm just seeing things, but like his right hand looks super swollen, and that could be from shots in the fight. But Cameron also said he had some personal issues, so he said, you know, they're gonna have to go sort things out. He said he's definitely not fighting in September because they asked him about him and Dricus.
November, or like December.
Yeah, maybe Abu Dhabi in October, maybe. But yeah, I mean, dude, that was just performance. Just back to performance was just something special. So that was 2-0 for South Africa as a sports nation in the weekend. Then onto the main card, there was a change of opponent within the week. So we originally had Bo Nickal and Treshawn Gore to fight each other. We said Bo Nickal.
Yeah.
I think with Val Woodburn, would have probably still gone Bo Nickal. I think all of us did. Mike messaged me when it happened as well, and he said, yeah, this guy looks like a beast, but Bo Nickal's a whole other beast. So 38 seconds in round 1.
Yeah, but he had like 5 days notice as well. Like the poor dude. A shame.
And he fought alone, eh? Like, I think on the embedded series, it was just him. Like, he came there just by himself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Look, not really much to analyze there. I mean, that's 38 seconds is nothing. Bo Nickal, looks like a problem.
Yeah.
Big problem. I'd like to see him sized up against some of the top, not in a fight necessarily, but just size-wise, what he's like against some of the top guys.
Okay.
Just to sort of see, because, you know, there's some big dudes up at that top 5. So still early days. He hasn't called anybody out yet. But Bo Nickal's a future problem. Future problem there.
It's just nice to see, like, why I don't understand why him and Dricus are on the same cards all the time. But it's nice to see, like, because I feel like I give the Dricus cards more attention, more Dricus and Cameron. So it's like he's always there.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Thankfully, not ahead of Dricus like he was at UFC 285.
Yeah.
You're right though, because there's a story brewing there, I think. There was the same story brewing with Rahul Rosas Jr. and Cameron.
Yeah.
Until Rosas Jr. lost.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know. But look, early days, I'll back Dricus du Plessis against anybody in the middleweight division, honestly, at this moment.
Especially after that.
Especially after what he did. Even before that, dude, I think... And we'll get to it. Let's get to it. There's a lot that we got to still talk about at there. So up until that point. So, okay, then Dan Hooker beating Jalin Turner, split decision, 29-28 for Turner, 29-28 Hooker, 29-28 Hooker. First off, Jalin Turner missed weight, 158.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too big for the division, dude. He looked terrible on the scales.
Literally, like emaciated. Yeah.
Possibly, I mean, it's a weird position because, like, you see him sparring with Khamzat Chimaev and he looks huge.
Yeah, because he's so tall.
Yeah. But I don't know, dude. He looked good in there. I mean, like, he actually looked really good, and I actually think he should have won that fight. He should have put Dan Hooker away, in my opinion. Like, he had his chances to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, didn't have the cardio in the end, in my opinion. And then that was the big deciding factor because Dan Hooker's so freaking durable, dude. If you don't put him away, he is going to just continue going forward.
Yeah.
He's going to continue.
Yeah, with a broken hand. Like, the x-rays were, like, intent. That, like, bone is snapped. And that happened in the first, apparently.
And you wouldn't even know it. Dude.
Yeah. He just throwing it.
He just threw, like, crazy, dude. But again, so the judges, like, what fight were the judges watching, dude?
That was it. Which round?
I've actually got the judges' scorecards. Let me bring up the judges' scorecard. So we've got Adelaide Bird scored a 29-28 for Turner, gave 10-9 Turner, which all the judges did, which I think is fair because he did win that first round.
Yeah.
And then it was 10-9 to Hooker all around, which is fair. And then Adelaide Bird gave 10-9 to Turner in the last round, which
Doesn't make
makes
sense.
zero sense. Like there was
He looked gassed.
Dude, he was getting dominated. He was on the ground for most of that fight and then got up in the last 20 seconds. Like, how do you give that to Turner?
Yeah.
And then the other two judges scored a 10-9 to Hooker. So I think it should have been a unanimous decision to Dan Hooker, 29-28. I think that's fair. I think 10-9 to Turner in the last round is just absurd.
Yeah.
But that's not the only dodgy judges call on this fight, eh? On this card, excuse me.
The Moreno fight.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on this fight? How did you see it?
I don't know. I'm just such a fan of Dan. It was good to see. I expected more from Jalin. I thought that he would be able to get more done. Maybe it was just the weight cut because like he didn't make it, but maybe just took so much out of him.
Yeah, I mean, you get that close. It must be demoralizing as well, just missing it by 2 pounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Dan Hooker, what next?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know where who do you put him up against? But yeah, what did you think of the fight?
I think it was good. Again, I think Turner should have won that fight. I think Turner had his chances to put him away. I think, again, just he was too tired after a while, I feel, and it showed in the end.
Yeah.
He still kept going forward and doing his output. He's got a good style. He's nice and bouncy, rangy in and out. But I don't know, dude. I think he should go to 170. I think it just probably takes too much out of him. I actually think Dan Hooker should go to 170 as well. I think if you see Dan Hooker and Israel Adesanya training together, Dan Hooker's big dude out of camp. Like, he's massive. And I don't think there's fights for him at 155 anymore. He's not going to fight up against the top guys again. I don't think. There's too stacked up there, dude.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Put him against like a Gamrot and maybe kill Gamrot's momentum if he loses? Or, what do you do with Dan Hooker?
Yeah.
He's a fan favorite, but
maybe he also does benefit from moving up because like when he went to featherweight and fought Arnold, like that, like his chin was like glass. So like, I don't know, maybe he would benefit from going up to welterweight.
I think he would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be like Rafael Dos Anjos.
Yeah.
Kind of where he benefited. I know Dos Anjos was champion at 155, but like, I think he benefited a lot more at 170.
Yeah.
It's a lot closer to, there's this whole debate to like whether you should cut or whether you should walk around, fight closer to your walk around weight.
Yeah.
Some people work well cutting. Some people work well closer to their weight. So I think you should go up to 170. But well done, Dan Hooker. We all got that wrong. We all thought Turner was going to win. So congratulations. We got that one wrong. Then my main event, all South Africans' main event, Dricus du Plessis versus Robert Whittaker. Man, I know we said ahead of time, like, Dricus is going to TKO him, and we all had him winning round 2 or round 3. But, bro, like, it's Robert Whittaker. You know what I mean?
And what he did to him as well. Because he won the first round. I think he, like, on the scorecards as well, do you know?
They all had 10-9, to Dricus.
Yeah.
He wasn't winning the round until he freaking
like took him down and made those
big brothered him with the hip throw.
Yeah.
And like that was pure strength. Like it's a technique to do that, but like around the head, most of the time people's heads slip out. Like you need to sort of get under an arm or something. If you're in a gi, get a belt. But when he was on top, dude, I mean, he was raining down shots and he was in Robert Whittaker's guard. And then it was kind of like, I was saying to you ahead of time, it looked like a white belt trying to step up that was like a little bit cocky, maybe like an old wrestler or whatever, stepping up to like the brown belt enforcer in the gym. Yeah. And the guy Dricus just had zero regard for his guard. And he was like, almost like, what's this leg doing here? Out the way. Boop, boop. Went for a DAS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe could have finished it. But then was like, okay, no need to rush this. Like secure top position, rain elbows down, and then kind of saved by the bell because he went for a DAS again, rained some shots down again, and definitely dominated round 1.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, although Robert Whittaker had some success with his shots.
Yeah, especially in the start of the round. Yeah. Just like because you can see when he was trying to implement his game plan, and that's like my favorite part of the fight as well. Is like Rob wasn't he wasn't. Like where he wasn't showing up. Like he was trying to implement his game plan, and it was working for like a little bit, and then it just stopped working because Dricus was too powerful and like enforced his game plan.
Dude, he was hitting him with that left the whole time, and I was so nervous. But I was like, dude, don't like my big worry was that Dricus would come too straight on.
Yeah.
But like we saw, his head movement was really good eventually because he started to, like he said in the post-fight press conference, like he had to figure Rob out.
Yeah.
And he did figure him out because he was anticipating and getting out the way eventually. But coming out southpaw, bro, we didn't even talk about that. Like that, how impressive. Genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
That team, just like I don't know what they're doing, but like it's just so cool. And I feel like that's like a lesser known part of the fight as well.
Yeah, dude. I mean, could you imagine going southpaw? And I know he fights sometimes like he can switch.
Yeah.
But doing your whole game plan about going southpaw.
Yeah.
And having a couple of weeks to prep that
style. Yeah.
For the best outside of the champion, the best middleweight of the last decade.
Yeah.
And doing it so successfully and making it actually look, once he figured out the range and figured out the move and make it look easy.
Yeah, he took him down with a jab.
Dude.
Like, yeah.
I mean, that was, it was actually, there was a few shocking moments in that fight. One was how strong Dricus was compared to Whittaker. And looking back, we always knew he was strong, but like, dude, Whittaker's an Olympic level wrestler.
Yeah.
And he could not get out. He could not get out from under him.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the first thing. The second thing we knew about the power, obviously, because he hit him with that right hand. If you look at the slow-mo, dude, Whittaker's eyes look like they rolled to the back of his head. But the thing I liked the most about this fight was like how calm and measured Dricus was in this whole thing.
Like the IQ. Yeah,
dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, I'm sure that's down to, obviously, yes, his fight IQ, but also down to Coach Moreno because dude, that game plan they came up with was like close to perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that blueprint, I don't think existed. I mean, what's it? Rob versus Southpaw. Apparently, they just said he gets hit more. That's not something I've ever noticed. Yeah,
I'm trying to think of when his last fight against the Southpaw was. I think Izzy might have Izzy didn't knock him out Southpaw. Izzy knocked him out Orthodox. But yeah, bro, then that second round came out. I was still a little bit nervous because Rob still had those lefts that were coming through, but bro, it like
kept landing.
Dricus just like Mike said actually in the pre-fight or the preview.
Yeah.
Dricus gets hit, but it's not like whoa shots, like dangerous shots.
Yeah.
He got hit a little bit in his first UFC fight, and a little bit by Brunson, a little bit. But they take the damage to be able to give the damage, like Mike said. And the damage he took, his face is a little bit busted up, but like what he inflicted on Robert Whittaker was just something else. Shocking the world, eh?
Yo, and it was actually quite sad, like because it was really happy because like Dricus, of course, but I was honestly quite sad as well because like I haven't seen any interviews with Rob since then.
No, I actually looked at his Instagram as well to see if he said anything.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for Rob Whittaker, dude, but he's such a nice guy and real legend, definite Hall of Famer, But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes from here because he can't go up to light heavyweight.
Can't make it.
And he's too small. He can make it. I think he's gonna be too small, dude. I mean, Dricus dwarfed him.
Yeah.
Dricus is a big middleweight, but Dricus dwarfed him. Go down to welterweight. His chin as well was not the best at welterweight. So it's gonna be interesting now to see what he does from here.
Yeah.
But I think Rob's safe in the fact that I think Dricus can beat Izzy. They might do a rematch, and then Rob, if he just wins his fights, he might get his rematch then.
Yeah.
Dude, another thing, 100% oxygen Dricus is a beast.
He was like, okay, so I didn't, I went to sleep, like, to be completely honest. 12 o'clock came, I was like, okay, I'm gonna fall asleep. And like, as I fell asleep, I kind of gave up hope. I was like, okay, I see this playing out as like Dricus it's gonna go the full 3 rounds, and I don't think Dricus can do it. Like it's Robert Whittaker, And I wake up the morning and I see one, and I'm like, it like blew my mind. And then I go watch it, and he was just like, he didn't look phased. Like he didn't look tired after the octagon post-fight interview.
The interview. Yeah,
Like he was fine. Like he was breathing normally, and like I don't know, it was just so cool to see. Like just this calm collect. It was like a different Dricus, honestly.
Yeah, and it just, I was chatting to, so before Mike brought up the point about recovery, one of the brown belts at our gym is a doctor as well, and I was saying to him, like, what is, besides getting your oxygen in, like, that's probably the big difference, but is there another difference? And he said it's not so much about getting the oxygen in, and this is what Mike also explained so perfectly. It's not about getting the oxygen in. It is about getting the oxygen in, but it's not just about the output, it's about recovery. And he said exactly the same thing. When you're breathing through your mouth, it's more muscle, diaphragm is going. So Dick has always had good cardio. It's just that he hasn't been able to recover again and recover in time. So now, dude, setting up a title fight. First time ever South African's going to fight for a title. Setting up a title fight with Israel Adesanya. They had a little bit of a
tough,
less than savory moment in the cage afterwards. Yeah, bro. I know what I thought. What do you think about that?
I lost a lot of respect for Israel, honestly. He is a great champion, great fighter, and I used to think that like his antics were very, like, I don't know, endearing, or like it's just like a sense of like character or whatever. But like like that was just a bitch move, honestly. I like lost all respect instantly. Like when that interview started, like I don't know, I want Dricus to just whip his ass, honestly. Like just but at the same time, like Dricus just held himself like a gentleman, and that was just so cool to see.
So I didn't really know which way that was going to go. Like I knew Izzy was going to come out the way that he has been saying the things he's been saying the last while. I think it was a little bit distasteful to keep dropping N-bombs. I mean, okay, I mean he can do that if he wants, but I think he was trying to get Dricus to say it, like to say something bad,
antagonistic as well.
I think he was trying to get Dricus, because he just kept saying the word over and over and over. Maybe like trying to get it to stick in Dricus's mind, like Dricus was just going to shout it, like but I think Dricus, I mean, I kind of the comment of I'm African, but you're no brother of mine. Like that actually flew over my head, because I was just like, what the hell is happening? And then afterwards I thought about it. I was like, man, that's actually such a good chirp, like especially in the moment. Like, and I suck at trash talk. Like if it doesn't come naturally to you, I feel like a lot of people shouldn't trash talk if they, if it doesn't come naturally to them. And I don't know if it comes naturally to Dricus because he's such a gentleman. And I'm glad he actually didn't try to trash talk, because it could have gone really bad and made him look really stupid. But I will say, like, they booed Dricus the whole week. Okay, the crowd. I don't know if it's because there was a lot of New Zealanders, but or Aussies. And I know because people love Rob. I mean, he's a fan favorite for sure. But after that octagon square off, people were booing Izzy and cheering Dricus. Now that just tells you how much of a clown Izzy made himself look like after that whole situation.
And like the whole, like I don't know, the whole tension, I think it's like super easy to just recognize, like, well, if you listen to Dricus's side for like longer than 10 seconds, you realize that he's not trying to put down the Africanness of like these champions. Like it was never about them. That was like his initial comments of, I want to be the first Nate. Also, he just said first African.
Maybe the first person residing in Africa.
It's
the first African residing in Africa.
And it's like, that's not about them at all. In that saying residing in Africa, that's like, it's categorically not about Izzy, Francis, Usman. It's just like, it's a fact. And to like not be able to, or like want to not understand that, it's like, I don't know. Are they trying to sell a fight? I don't understand.
I think so. I think once he clarified the statements over and over, it's like when he was with Ariel Helwani, it's almost like Ariel Helwani had made up his mind where the story needed to go. And he was trying to find like a gotcha moment to be like, see, gotcha, that's why it's the way I'm explaining it to be. And I'm just thankful that, there was a lot of initial backlash, but I mean, like when BK was on, he was saying him and I were saying in South Africa, it was majority of the comments were positive.
Yeah.
There's more people outside of South Africa, and again, I think it's just people don't listen to the quote in its full context and what he's saying in its full context. But I think that's gonna come up again. I think it might be a very unsavory build up to the fight. I think Izzy wants it that way to get into Dricus's head.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to be able to do that. I think Dricus is brick-walled anything like that happening.
What's also cool is Dricus is training in South Africa, and we all understand the gravity of what he's saying, because it's true. Yeah, he's the only South African fighter. He's the only African fighter here. We're here as well. We know. I mean,
we said it last week. I mean, look at all the guys like Rico, Chris Bright. They never had these chances to go overseas.
Yeah.
When Soulja Boy, McClellan and guys like that went to the UFC, it was like, we'll just put you there so we can say we got some South African fighters almost, and now it's like, and I think now especially it's like for them to do that, it was not given to them, so 100% right. But yeah, dude, he's fighting for a title, man. I still that's so crazy.
The tingles.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen in Australia, but
I hope it doesn't. Honestly, I think for a 5-round fight, like Dricus' first 5-round fight in the UFC octagon, I don't think it's good for him to just have. He said because it's going to take a week to travel and then recover, so that's 8 weeks. Yeah.
Well, and he's going to be there for a week as well. So yeah. No, I don't think. I just hope Izzy doesn't.
Force it.
No, I hope Izzy doesn't duck Dricus and go and fight Strickland and be like, you lost your shot, Dricus.
Yeah.
If he does that, it'll be really stupid of him, because I think the UFC is going to push it.
Yeah.
I think the UFC is going to push it. It remains to be seen what happens, man. But listen, dude, there's no denying Dricus now.
Yeah.
No denying Dricus now.
Yo, maybe he loses to Strickland if that does happen.
Can't even fathom Strickland, bro. No. That will never happen. Never happen. All right. Well, congratulations to both South African fighters. Really make us proud again. And Coach Moreno saying there might be a third one. Mark Hume coming soon, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And I think this weekend, and I think when Dricus wins the title and Cameron win the title, again, I've been saying all along, that's going to be the path for everybody else to join and say, those are the people like them, Don Madge, BK, people winning titles overseas. That's the path. Those are the people we can be like, and they're going to show the way to do it. So I think they're going to be the tip of the iceberg in a couple of years to come. Yeah. So next fight at flyweight, Alexandre Pantoja beat Brandon Moreno by split decision. So I got this one right, Mike and I. Sorry, Jack. This means because Volkonovski.
Yeah,
I'm a three-time champion. Sorry, Jack. This thing's staying home with me. But yeah, split decision was an odd one again, dude. I've got the judges' scorecards here as well. But what did you think of the fight, first of all?
I mean, Pantoja did enough. He deserved to win, absolutely. I think Brandon, he broke his hand in the first round. I think that did impact the fight. He was striking less, or there was just less power behind the strikes. But yeah, all the respect to him. I want to see. I guess it will be a fourth fight between them, almost like a Davis and Figueiredo.
Yeah, man, Moreno's having another one of those, man. It's not good for him, dude. I look, it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought Pantoja. I mean, Brandon had made the necessary improvements. I think if they have another fight, he could possibly win. That is a big possibility. And there might, because it was a split decision. Officially, it's a split decision.
Yeah.
But I don't see it as a split decision. I think it's a unanimous decision, quite handedly for Pantoja.
Yeah, I mean, he did win. I do agree. Yeah.
Yeah, 4-1 rounds, maybe at a worst 3-2.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Pantoja, just all the reasons we said he would win. I mean, that round 4 and 5, it was like a backpack on Brandon Moreno. Brandon had success. I mean, he got his back as well. I think it was round 2. But I mean, it was just too. Again, there was still a gap between them, and he'd closed that gap. Moreno did, but yeah, Pantoja just got it done. But these judges, dude, what is going on? Like, Ben Cartledge had it 49-46 to Moreno. Then it's 47-48 by Derek Cleary, to Pantoja, and 47-48 to Pantoja. Like, are they watching the same fight?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's like what Mark said last week, where they just don't watch the fight. Because that's kind of the only thing that makes sense to me, to have that kind of discrepancy, because it's like so clear who was winning like round 4 and 5, honestly.
Yeah, especially, dude. Okay, so that's a good, I mean, especially round 4 and 5. Like, the first 3 rounds, you could maybe make a case, but like, Ben Cartledge had 10-9 from round 2 to round 5 for Moreno.
Yeah.
But not just that, dude. The other 2 judges had a 10-9 for Moreno in round 4.
That does make too much sense.
Which is ridiculous because Pantoja was on his back for most of the round. Like, literally had a body triangle when they were standing, took him to the ground, was on his back basically the whole round.
Yeah.
Round 5 happens. Exactly the same thing, basically. It was like a carbon copy. It was a replay of round 4.
Yeah.
And they judge it the other way.
Yeah, that doesn't make too much sense, honestly.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing? What are you doing, judges of these athletic commissions? Like, what are they doing?
It's all about unsettling, honestly, because that's like a person's life as well. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's why Dana White says don't leave it in the hands of the judges, because stupid crap like this happens.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, congratulations to Pantoja. I feel sorry for Brandon Moreno because he is such a nice guy, and he's really, really.
The respect there as well when Pantoja wins, like, it's really great to see. Yeah,
it's humble in defeat, Moreno. But I don't think Moreno, like, we spoke about his camp last week and stuff, like, it could have been a problem, but I think he's got things under control. And he made the improvements. He looked really good, He definitely took the fight seriously, definitely trained hard, did what he needed to do. But I think, again, that gap was just too high. And the confidence, man, of Pantoja, I mean, like, Pantoja was bloodied up and he still, if he hadn't beaten Moreno in the first 2 fights, that confidence to be like, I've been through you before, I've beaten you before. Yeah, that made a big difference.
But I think the hand, his hand must have also played like a I don't know, if in a world where he didn't have that injury.
Yeah.
But
again, bro, you would never say like his hand was broken. Like, his guys just beasts to do that. So, okay. Then the main event of the card.
Just a note: the Robbie Lawler retirement.
Okay, wait. Yeah, we cannot not talk about Robbie Lawler. How dare I not? Yeah, bro. So first off, Robbie Lawler, what was it? 38 seconds. So Robbie Lawler had 38 seconds. Nickal had 38 seconds. The walk-off knockout by Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
Typical Robbie Lawler.
Yeah. Did you see his reaction? Well, to the farewell video. Man, it was just so cool to see like this person that like very rarely talks, or like he's not a man.
Very rarely shows emotion.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool to see.
Man, I think if we. I think next week we should do a top 5 Robbie Lawler. I think we should in honor of Robbie Lawler. We've got a different top 5 this week.
Yeah.
But I think next week we should do a top 5 Robbie Lawler.
Already now, McDonald too.
Bro, spoiler alert.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Listen, man, that guy was fighting. So I watched a documentary when it was like UFC 30s, like in the 30s. Robbie Lawler had hair back then. It was like Randy Couture, Dan Henderson, and those guys.
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen lost on that card. I can't remember who he lost to. It was like in the early days of UFC, dude. That guy's been around for a long. Robbie Lawler.
He was 19.
Yeah.
And he's 42 now. So how many years?
That's 23.
Yeah. Geez.
And then he went through a sort of journeyman phase. And then he was like a resurgence where he was like a demon, dude. Like, especially like you say, that Rory McDonald fight where at the end of the fight they just look at each other like that. So he's got a split lip, and Rory McDonald's at the end of the 4th round, sorry,
and he spits on the blood on the floor. Yeah.
And it's just so like a serial killer vibe, because he's so calm, quiet. He just talks like this and just doesn't want to say much. And then he's like, you see him in the cage, he's like a killer.
Yeah.
So very sad to see him go. But look, everybody has their time. But what a way to go out, dude.
Yeah.
38 seconds.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And he looked like a 20-something year old, honestly. Yeah, just so impressive.
I'm just glad that he's going out on top and not chasing the dragon and wanting to go again and again and again. So
Yeah.
enjoy your retirement, Robbie Lawler. Thank you for all the
thank
memories. Top 5 next week for sure, definitely. Just on that, while we're talking about like retirements and things like that, the Hall of Fame ceremony. I don't know if you saw. Did you see just one touching moment? So they had Jens Paul and they had some other inductees into the Hall of Fame. But did you see the Jose Aldo moment?
Yeah, it
Dude.
made me almost emotional, honestly.
Wow.
Like,
that was
deserved it. Yeah,
definitely deserved
absolutely.
it. Yeah, I mean, bro, checking him cry backstage and like trying to keep it in and like look. Wow, that was yeah, man. So we had the main event. Alexander Volkonovski beat Yair Rodriguez. Tico round 3. I had it in round 4 as a sub. Did I say sub or did I say Tico? I don't know.
I think you said TK.
Possibly,
so.
yeah. But round 3, dude. I mean, what more can you say about Volkanovski, dude? The guy, Yair Rodriguez looked average against him. Average. I thought Topuria might have a chance against Volkanovski, but like, I don't think anyone's got a chance at 45. I mean, I'm agreeing with Mike now from last week. Like, dude, it was like, it's ordinary. He made him look ordinary.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to say about it.
And like, the respect that he had for Yair. I mean, Yair, again, I think that he's probably the most dangerous for Volk. Because, like, same reasons that he said, it's like anyone's got a puncher's chance, but like, just the skill set that he brings and like the angles that he brings and those kicks, like he can catch at any time. And like Volk was able to put down those skills and nullify them, and then like with that implement his game plan. And that was just really, I don't know, just such a like high fight IQ. Yeah, just really impressive. I don't think there's anyone that can beat him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's easy to think these things before a fight, but it's still a shock to see them play out. And it was shocking, dude, how easy it was for him. Like, I'm sure he won't say that it was easy, but also had an injury.
Oh, the arm.
Arm as well. And there's a lot of injuries on this card, dude, but still the people fought. I mean, for him to do that with an injury, and now he's got to take some time off. He said at least 8 weeks for everything to heal, then he can start training. He's aiming for Abu Dhabi against Topuria. They had their little stay-off as well. He didn't come into the cage, Topuria, but they had their stay-off on the outside and sort of size each other up. And Volk said, "I'm going to take your O." To him.
I think he will.
I'm a big fan of Topuria, and I thought Topuria could give Volk the biggest chance. I still the biggest threat to him, biggest test, and I still think he probably could. But Volk is just, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on another level. It's just I think Volkanovski needs to beat Topuria and be done with featherweight. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything left for him to prove at featherweight. I don't think there's anyone else for him to beat at featherweight. And then he needs to go up and go fight Islam again. Islam needs to not duck him and say whatever. He needs to fight Islam again.
Yeah. I like that. I think that works.
Yeah.
So
and then, Yair Rodriguez and Topuria probably fight for the title when Volk vacates. And then that's an interesting fight.
And then what about Aljamain?
I don't know, dude. If you had a choice between fighting the 135 champion coming up, you've got a huge risk.
Yeah.
I don't think Volk cares about the risk, to be honest. I mean, because why would he have fought Islam the first time?
Yeah.
But he's supposed to win that fight.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to beat Islam, especially losing to him the first time. I don't think he takes that fight.
I wouldn't want to see it, honestly.
No.
Yeah.
I think he smokes Aljamain Sterling like probably worse than we've ever seen. I think he just does whatever the hell he wants when he wants.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I still think I'm not a big fan of Aljamain. I don't see how he's beaten the people that he's beaten. But like,
look, I mean, all due respect to Aljamain Sterling, like he put his mind to it. Like the Piotr Jan, like his getting the title was bullshit. Bullshit. But beating Piotr Jan, and then Cejudo was close. Like it was really close, but I didn't think he had a chance against Cejudo. Like I didn't think he was going to hang with him or anything. I thought Cejudo was going to walk through him.
Yeah.
Didn't.
And then TJ,
but TJ was injured as well. But like TJ's also past it, and I don't know. But listen, man, I mean, we joke with Aljamain Sterling every week and that, but like I respect the guy. I mean, obviously, I mean, he's the champion of the world. Like for anybody to be champion of the world,
it takes a lot.
In anything, almost anything. But at 145, bro, don't do it, Aljamain. Just don't do it, dude. Like, who's he going to beat at 145? Like, let's just think about this. Do you think he'll beat Josh Emmett?
I think he'll beat Josh Emmett.
You think he'll beat Josh Emmett? I think he'll have a tough time against Josh Emmett, to be honest with you. He probably, just in general, dude, Josh Emmett's tough as hell. He's bigger, he's stronger. That being said, he could possibly beat Josh Emmett, but I think it's close. It's really close. He doesn't beat Yair Rodriguez.
No.
He doesn't beat Topuria. In my opinion, he doesn't beat Topuria. And he definitely doesn't beat Volkonovski. So, what's he going to do at 45? But maybe it's difficult for him to make weight. I mean, he does cut quite a bit of weight. So, who knows, bro? Maybe they wait for the win of Yair Rodriguez and Topuria. And then Aljamain can say Volk ducked him.
Yeah.
That can be his claim to fame, his next claim to fame. But yeah, up against Magashev next, hopefully. And he said Abu Dhabi, possibly. So if Dricus and Adesanya doesn't happen in Abu Dhabi as the main event, because they don't have a main event yet. Kamaru, Usman and Khamzat doesn't happen, then Volk and Topuria for the 45 strap, Abu Dhabi.
Did you see the Kamaru Usman interview after the fight as well?
Yeah, calling Khamzat Chimaev out. That's smart. I mean, smart like because it's a big fight, money fight, you know, and he probably knows it probably won't happen. So I don't know what's happening with Khamzat.
I haven't seen, like I don't know, he's been pretty silent. I mean, just I haven't been looking. I don't know.
But if that happens, dude, Kamaru, I'm sorry, it's your funeral, buddy. That guy's gonna smoke Kamaru, especially at 170. Yeah, at 170, especially. I think we said it before. 185 favors Kamaru Usman better than 170. Just because Khamzat's so big and powerful at 170, dude. Even at 185, I think he would be. Let me put some respect on Kamaru Usman's name. I don't know if it's going to be a walkover, but Khamzat steam trains. I mean, if we think, well, I don't think he's going to steam train Costa, but that's sort of a lot of people's general consensus. So if he's going to steam train Costa, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, big dude, what's he going to do to Kamaru?
I think the pressure, I don't know if, because like Kamaru deals well with output, like with Colby. But like I don't know, pressure and output. I think there's like a small, well, there's like a difference, and that shows between like Khamzat versus Colby. Because Khamzat, if he's like just swarming you the whole time, I don't think we've really seen Kamaru fight someone that fights like that.
And someone bigger than him.
Yeah.
Remember, Colby's a small belt. I mean, relatively small.
Yeah.
But also Kamaru's got no knees. Like he literally, apparently, it hurts for him to walk.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that, dude. And like if you're grappling the whole time like that, don't know what they putting into that dude's knees to make him fight and throw kicks and stuff. But yeah, Khamzat, dude, I think Khamzat will give problems to most of the top middleweights and welterweights.
Yeah.
I think he could beat Leon Edwards possibly, but Leon Edwards is very smart. He has good game plans. Colby will be tricky. Colby's an all-American wrestler, but I think he's too big. He's too big and strong, dude.
I would love to see that fight, though.
Yeah, Colby, bro.
Yeah, just the trash talk.
Yeah, but Colby's hoping for a McGregor fight, dude.
Yeah.
But the trash talk with Khamzat and Colby, bro.
Yo.
And the nicknames that Colby comes up with, like, that'll be hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. Hopefully, we get to see Khamzat back in action. Hopefully, we see Kamaru Usman and Khamzat. Paulo Costa's already got his fight, so that's not going to happen. But hey, bro, maybe he has Khamzat has a good run at 85. We get to see him and Dricus.
Yeah.
And again, I think Dricus has a style to beat him. Definitely a style to beat him and the strength to beat him. So that'll be interesting. Overall, what are we saying for this card out of 10?
10.
10?
Yeah, 10.
Damn,
I think 10.
I say 9.5. 9.5. Yeah, it's definitely one of the best cards I've ever seen. I don't have it at a 10 because I've got at least 5 cards better than that are closer to a 10 for me. 10's like perfect, dude. I mean, like if you look at the way that 291 is set up, it's set up to be a 10.
Yeah.
Like that's possibly a 10. if it lives up to expectation. For sure, bro. 9.5, that easily.
Yeah.
9.6 because of the two South Africans on there. So winning that one. So
I had it at 9.5, but then the Robbie Lawler just like put it over the top because there's just like so many levels then.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so I think, what is it? Okay, so I got 5 out of 6 right, I think, and you got 4 out of 6 right. So sorry, Jack. Again, as I said, this belt is coming home 3-time champion. 3-time champion.
For the preview, I'm bringing it this time.
Got it. Yeah, bro. We got to have some different calls on this one. So what we had for this top 5 this week was, in honor of Alexander Volkonovski's amazing performance, we thought we would do the top 5 featherweights of all time. So this is our weekly top 5. So my top 5, I've picked for a variety of reasons. One was the fighting style. Another one was who they've beat, title defenses. All of those things are in there. So in at number 5, I've gone for Uriah Faber. I know he did a lot at bantamweight, but he has a history in the WEC. He's got five WEC defenses. Was kind of the man until Jose Aldo came along. I know Mike Brown and then Jose Aldo, but Uriah Faber, 5 WEC defenses back when there was no featherweight in the UFC. That was the standard. So definitely Uriah Faber, number 5. In at number 4, I've gone for Jose Aldo. 7 UFC title defenses is still the record. I mean, even with Volkonovski doing his thing. He's beat Chad Mendes twice. He's beat Mike Brown. He's got 9 years undefeated. So he had 18 fights in that time. But the only people to beat him at featherweight that are the people that I have above him. So in at number 3, and this was really, really tricky between number 3 and number 2. In at number 3, I've gone for a bit of a safer number 3.
Okay.
Conor McGregor. I almost had him at number 2, but I feel like Conor McGregor just didn't do it for long enough. What he did was nothing short of amazing. I don't know if you'll ever see a run like that again to a title. Maybe we will, actually. That's not fair to say, but 7-0 at featherweight, beating Jose Aldo in 13 seconds, dude. People can say that's luck or whatever. He planned that. I mean, coming through the adversity of having one knee to beat Max Holloway. I know they were young, but he beat Max Holloway, like out-grappled him, outworked him. Beating Chad Mendes with one knee as well, because he had the same injury there. I mean, he had as an absolute tear. I mean, I would have had him at number 2, but again, I think just he didn't do it for long enough. And if he had done it for long enough and carried on that path, he would have definitely, actually, possibly been number 1. But in any event, in at number 2, I've gone for Max Holloway. Max Holloway beat Jose Aldo twice. He only really lost to Volkanovski recently. It's 3 losses to Volkanovski. He's got his 2 title defenses, but also the thing is, after the Conor McGregor loss, he went on an absolute tear, 13 wins in a row. And then went and tested himself up at lightweight, which was a mistake, but still beat everybody. Just beat Yair Rodriguez. He's an absolute savage. And take out my number 1, and Holloway is definitely number 1. Yeah. And of course, number 1, can it be anybody else? It's Alexander Volkanovski. 12-0 as a featherweight, 4 title defenses. He's beat Frankie Edgar. He's beaten Max Holloway 3 times. He's beaten Brian Ortega. He's beaten Jose Aldo. He's up in the pound for pound rankings. I think, with John Jones being gone, he is number 1. But dude, fully deserves. I mean, to me, he's like GSP was at welterweight, but at featherweight. So it can't be anyone else for me but Volkanovski, especially after this weekend. So that's my top 5 best featherweights of all time. Jack, what is your top 5?
We've got pretty similar ones. I really like your list. Uriah, I didn't have him, but I haven't in my honorable mentions.
Okay.
I feel like he's like the granddad of the division. I mean, because he was the first champion.
In WEC, I think. Yeah, I stand corrected. He might not have been, but yeah. I think he's got the record defenses beside, because Aldo had 2 and then they went to the UFC. Yeah, so. Yeah.
Okay, wait,
yeah, what's your list? Yeah. The people are waiting.
I have Frankie Edgar at number 5. I think that he had like a really impressive run. I don't think in terms of he never held the featherweight title. No,
lightweight.
Lightweight, yeah, and then he went down. But just the people that he faced and like the performances he put on, he was like right under. Well, he was like, he was number one the whole time after Jose because he lost to him, and just the people that he beat at the time. I actually have the list here. Sorry. Yair, Mendez, Cub Swanson, Oliveira, Faber, and BJ Penn. So like that was all in his run.
Like a who's who.
Yeah, I think he had a 9-fight undefeated like during that time. So I have him at number 5, and then your number 4. I have Max Holloway actually. Quite lower down. Like it was just like doing this list is so crazy because they've all like fought each other and there's like circles of who beat each other. But yeah, Max, just like, I don't know, one of my favorite fighters, just always puts it out there, and like he's never been finished. Yeah, just like one of the best dudes as well. Future heavyweight champion.
Fight DC for that heavyweight title. Yeah.
And then I have Conor McGregor at 3. I was also jumping between the two of them, but like Conor McGregor, I don't think there's anyone like at that time when he beat Jose. I don't think there's anyone that would have beaten him. I know you mentioned when he beat Eddie Alvarez that like he was untouchable. I think that featherweight was his best division. I think that when he was in featherweight, like that's when he dominated. And yeah, just at the time, if he had done more as well, that's why he's lower down. Like if he could have kept the momentum, I don't know how a person can. But like, yeah, greatest of all time. And for 2, I have Alex. So Alexandre Volkonovski. I mean, like he's well on his way to be number 1. But yeah, at the moment too. I mean, like if he gets the strap and he defeats Topuria, like he earned number 1. But my number 1 spot goes to Jose. I think that he's like, I don't know, just what a veteran, and like there was a whole decade of him being like the man at featherweight.
Yeah, fair enough. I like that list. I think again it's like a who's fought each other.
Yeah.
I just think again Volk has got to be number 1, dude.
Yeah.
You know, for me, because like he beat everybody on that list. But Jose Aldo, what you say is true, because there was a time where he was untouchable. I think that loss to McGregor can do a lot to your mental state. I mean, like he won his next fight and he was like screaming in the octagon, you know. So I think he got a lot of demons from that.
Yeah.
Had that fight gone differently, had he actually not knocked him out in the first 13 seconds, who knows, man?
Yeah.
I mean, I think skill wise, McGregor's skill should not be discounted, especially when he was young and hungry. But skill-wise, would have been very close, very, very close. And yeah, who knows what could have happened if that went differently. But yeah, good list, man. Good list. And again, Hall of Famer, Jose Aldo, and I think pretty much everybody on that list is probably going to be a Hall of Fame eventually anyway on both of our lists. So yeah, I like Frankie Edgar in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he retired this year, was it? Or was it last year?
I think it was last year, beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Very unlucky because he was always waiting in the wings, and then it was like Mendez was an alternate when Aldo pulled out for McGregor.
Yeah.
Then it was like he was waiting, and then it was like Conor wasn't coming back, and then Conor was saying he was going to fight him, and then it was just like never got his shot really properly at featherweight. So unlucky for Frankie, but yeah, still absolute legend. So that was our weekly top 5. It was the top 5 featherweights of all time. Let us know. Well, next week we're definitely doing the Robbie Lawler top 5. So the week after that, what you want to see, and let us know if you agree with our top 5 and who's in your top 5. So we're going to get to our preview of the UFC Fight Night, Holly Holm versus Mayra Bueno Silva. The first fight, we've got Terrence McKinney versus Nazim Sadykhov. What are you thinking of that one?
It's going to be a firefight. I'm actually a little bit scared. I don't know who's going to take it. I've given it to Terrance. I think that's like the more likely option, just because I think he's like super reckless. But Nazim, like the pressure, I don't know. Like I think they're going to be in the pocket swinging. Yeah. Who do you have?
I don't think that's going to go to the full 3 rounds. So first off, Terrence McKinney, super dynamic striker. He's got great wrestling. But he's so easily hit, dude.
I know, yeah.
And he's got very low cardio from what I've seen because he's so explosive. Nazim is just good everywhere, dude. good everywhere. Great pressure coming forward, but very calculated. He covers up a lot more. So I'm going Nazim for this one, just for the fact that Terrence is so reckless. I think he's going to get tired, and I think he's going to get finished by Nazim.
I think Nazim, though, he does get hit when he enters. I think, I don't know. I think I haven't seen Terrence too much of a counter puncher because he doesn't people haven't tended to go in as much. But I don't know.
He's got great striking though, Terrence. He's got good wrestling as well. Like, he's a good fighter.
Yeah.
I just think that Nazim's way more measured, and I think that's he's going to wait till he gets tired. He's going to force the mistakes, and he's going to win it. So you're going Terrence, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you think he's going to win?
I think knockout.
Knockout.
First round towards the end.
Yeah, he has to win it in early because he gets tired after all that explosiveness, and like you say, Nazim gets hit. But I think Nazim, if he can't weather the storm, obviously then he'll lose in the first.
Yeah, if it goes past the first round though.
Yeah, I feel as well. Yeah, especially if it gets to the third round, he'll take him into deep waters. But I'm going Nazim, so good. We got a difference there. Then we've got Ottman Azaitar, I think, versus Francisco Prado, the young prodigy from Argentina. What are you saying for this one?
Prado, Ottman. Yeah, what I have that he was in the pocket last fight, and that they both came off losses. Prado, that was he lost against his debut. I can't remember. It was someone that a relatively big name.
Yeah, it's also escaping me now. But
the Australian guy. Yeah, I don't know. I think Prado, that he showed a lot of potential. I think that he's young. I think he's got a point to prove. I see him winning. And you?
Listen, it was very tough for me to call this because I like Prado. I think he's a good striker. He's got solid jiu-jitsu. I mean, I was watching a fight of his from where he's fighting in South America, and the guy had some good top pressure, and he just whipped up an armbar out of nowhere and finished him. And he's only 21, dude.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's so insane. I want him to win. Yeah. But I think Ottman, dude, he's been more tested in the UFC. He's a former Brave lightweight champion. And I think his output and his pressure,
so much pressure,
and his work rate, I think, will be the difference in this fight. I think even if Prado wins, if he can up his work rate and his output, he can win. I honestly feel like flipping a coin for this one, to be honest with you.
I do have a coin, and what do you want to flip it?
I felt like there would be a few coin flips, but I didn't think so.
I mean, this is also this is one it's hard to gauge because it's also a firefight. It's I think that Prado is going to be more measured, but if he's in the pocket with Ottman, I think that Ottman's kind of going to force his hand and make it dirty. Okay, but flip. Let's see.
I want to go for Ottman, but I'm going to go heads is Ottman, tails is Prado.
Okay.
Can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah, it stayed Ottman. I'm glad. Okay. I don't have to go for that. So Ottman.
Okay,
I'm going Ottman. Yeah. Then we've got Norma Dumont versus Chelsea Handler. What are you saying for this one?
I'm saying Dumont. She's also the favorite. No, wait, no. Sorry, I just wrote to her as favorite. I have Chelsea.
You have Chelsea.
I have Chelsea.
Okay, good. I've got Dumont.
Okay.
Please tell me why.
I think she's got more momentum at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of buzz behind her.
Yeah.
And again, I just in my show notes, I've got here aggressive, relentless, but a bit sloppy. Very sloppy and easily hit. But then also her first fight was a bit of an easy fight. I mean, the girl's record was 10-6-2.
Yeah.
So it's all relative to who you're fighting.
Yeah.
And Norma's got amazing fundamentals, really fundamentals. She's got really good boxing, really good grappling. And
I think it's the pressure. If Chelsea does, if she gets it to the ground, or if she just puts her to the cage, I don't know.
Yeah, pressure is one thing, but it's if you've got who's really bad at the front, if you're coming forward with your hands down,
you're gonna get caught.
You get caught. If you're not focused, you can get knocked out. You can get caught with something. So she does put pressure at Chelsea, but it's very reckless. Again, like I say, it's very reckless, easily hit. So look, I mean, we're pleading our case for either one. So, but I think Norma Dumont's more tested in the UFC, and I think she could win. But I can see it going to Chelsea Handler.
Yeah,
these.
Just I don't know. Yeah.
No, carry on. Yeah,
I think her. I I think she's quite big for 145 as
Mm.
well. Like that last bout, it was a catch weight at 140. I can't remember who it was with. That was her debut. But I don't know. I think that she's big for the division.
Look, I mean,
Like
there's
size.
again, it's a 50-50. It's a real 50-50.
Yeah.
But the reason, again, like my reasoning for going Dumont is I think she's more tested. I think she's better all round. She might be a bit small, but if Chelsea Handler wins this fight, I would not be surprised. Like that's how close this fight is. So okay, so we're different there again. Cool, we're different all over. We're different for the first three.
Yeah.
Then we've got Walt Harris versus Josh Parisian. This is also, dude. One thing I will say, and again, it's 50-50, and I don't know what our picks are going to be.
Yeah.
This fight should end in a knockout and be an amazing stand-up battle because they both love to stand and trade.
Yeah.
And they're both very strong. And they both like to give shots.
It's not gonna. I can't see this going past this second round. I don't know who to give it to. I'm gonna edge it to Walt Harris, just because I think that I don't know. I think that he's quite he's exciting, and the shots that he has, the tools like the knees. I think that he's got more weapons. But at the same time, I don't know.
Could go either way, dude. Again, so. The thing with Walt Harris, even though he's on a 3-fight losing streak currently, I still think he should have finished Alistair Overeem in that fight. So Alistair Overeem ended up coming back, rallying and beating him. But to beat Alistair Overeem, say what you will about Alistair Overeem. I know he didn't beat him, but he should have. And to be able to fight like that against a guy like Overeem, regardless of what's happened to him in the last while, always at the end of his UFC career, still shows a lot of quality.
Yeah.
He should have more output, Walt. But look, I mean, I don't know. Josh is not someone to take it to the ground. But if he does, Walt's not that good on the ground. From what I've seen, I mean, Overeem was dominating him on the ground.
Yeah.
Josh kind of had a stop-start beginning into his UFC career. He does have a good chin though. And I think he's a little bit more labored in his approach. Like he's a little bit lethargic, but he's got more power.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yes.
And he's more durable, I think, from what I've seen. So those are reasons why I'm going for Josh to win this. But again, bro, it's going to be one of those fights where they're going to be trading, and whoever clips first is going to win.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Rampage and Vanderlei when they had their last fight in the UFC and standing in the pocket trading, and Vanderlei got clipped with a left hook and out. So, but we've got different result. We're predicting a different result. Walt Harris for you and Josh for me. Who's the favorite? Did you manage to see?
They weren't betting odds. They were only betting odds for Norma versus Chelsea and Holly versus
Silva.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The next one is Albert Duriev versus Park Jun Young. What are you saying for this one?
Park Jun Young.
Hey, we're different again, though. I like this. Because now it could still end in a draw. No, we've got 5 different results. Well, do we?
Yeah.
The main event is going to be the decider. But okay, so you're going for Park. Why are you going for Park?
I think that I don't know. Albert, he's got a lot of pressure. Everyone's got pressure. Okay, I'm gonna stop using the word pressure, but he's got a lot of he goes up up straight, and he's constantly in there. I'm just trying to think of.
He doesn't let you breathe.
Yes, I'm just trying to think of a different word for pressure, but he's got a lot of pressure. And I think Jong's just I don't know. I think he can capitalize. I think his striking is really good. I think that if he gets to the ground, he's also got an edge. I have it to him. And you?
I agree with you that he has the edge because of his grappling, but it depends how they get to the ground. So if he gets taken down and Albert's on top, he doesn't have the edge. I know his jiu-jitsu is really good, but I think Albert's good enough to keep him down on the ground. If he's in the ascendancy and he's in a favorable position, as stupid as it sounds, because yes, the favorable position should be better off. But I think Park has to. I don't know. I couldn't find a key to victory for him unless it was kind of like he clips him and finishes him, or he finds a way to get into dominant ground position. I think Albert needs to utilize his grappling like he does with the pressure going forward and not give him time to breathe.
Yeah.
He's got bombs in his hands, dude. Like
Yeah.
proper bombs in his
true.
hands.
Yeah.
And I think his ground game's better, in my opinion, for what it needs to do. So where you need to put pressure again and lay shots on somebody.
Yeah.
If it was a jiu-jitsu match, man, Park smokes him.
Yeah.
But it's MMA.
I also think that pressure, I think it's gonna be very interesting for cardio. I think if this gets to the third round, I think Jonk is just like he can smoke him. I think you'll piece him apart. I think if it gets second round and he's able to weather that storm of pressure, I just see Albert slowing down.
Yeah, that's you're actually right. You're 100% right there. But it's easier said than done. This is the hard thing. So okay, so I think it's pretty safe to say with the Walt Harris and Josh fight, we never had a prediction there, but it's pretty safe to say we're both going for some sort of a KO.
Yeah.
In this fight, how you got Park winning?
I'm gonna say TKO.
TKO.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you? How do you got Albert?
I'm going for decision.
Okay.
Yeah, I think unanimous decision.
Okay.
If not, a TKO. But I don't think they would only rely on Park getting absolutely taken into deep waters and being so tired he couldn't intelligently defend himself. But so I'll go decision. The main event, we've got Holly Holm versus Mayra Bueno Silva. What are you saying?
Mayra.
Yeah. Okay. So we different again.
Yeah.
So okay, why Mayra?
I think she's younger. And she's got more momentum behind her. She's been winning her last 3 fights. I see it playing out better for her. I know Holly's like she's got a lot of cardio. She's powerful, but I also think she's at the end of her career. And I don't know. I feel like this is a really good story of an up and comer, and it's just an opportunity to beat someone that's on their way out.
No, fair enough. And I actually originally thought about Mayra winning, but her best chance again is on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. If she gets to the ground,
she has to.
Yeah,
she's quite slow and sloppy on her stand up. And I agree with you. Holly Holm is on her way out, like not out, but she's at the tail end of her career. But she still is very dangerous. She's only really lost to like Cyborg and Amanda Nunes in the last while. So her stand up's on another level, of course. And she lost the split decision. I don't remember to who, but she lost a split decision as well. So I think I've gone for Holly Holm just because I can't bet against her until she loses like a proper loss. I can't bet against her. But listen, if Silva wins it, her key to victory is on the ground. And it is possible again. I mean, she's good. She's young. She's got a good record. So, but yeah, I'm going for Holly Holm. I can't bet against Holly Holm.
Okay, that's fair. If Silva does win, I would love to see her versus Irene Aldana. Like that's a fight that at the same time it would also be cool to see Aldana go for the vacant belt.
And maybe her and Pena fight each other.
Yeah.
After Pena's whole rant.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got 6 different choices. So surely now, I mean, it can't be a draw. So tune in to see who wins it next week. So that wraps up this week's show. We hope you enjoyed our preview of the upcoming fight night. We hope you enjoyed our top 5, and we hope you enjoyed our review of UFC 290. Please comment below what you thought of the show. Let us know what you want to see next week. Please make sure to look for our Spotify link down below. And tune into all of our other socials and tune in next week to see what we talk about. Cheers, everybody.